Yields back. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Green, who's the ranking member of our Oversight and Investigation Subcommittee. Mr. Green, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, I ask that you recall Liberation Day, the day that President Trump announced tariffs. I ask that you recall that when he made this announcement, there was a sharp decline in the stock market. In fact, when he made the announcement, the NASDAQ experienced a 6% decline, the S&P 500 a decline of 11%. I ask that you also remember that some days later, the president announced that he was going to pause those tariffs. And when he indicated that he would pause the tariffs, the market then moved up. Do you recall these things, Mr. Secretary?
I recall them very well, Congressman.
Thank you. And I ask that you also recall, please, Mr. Secretary, that hours before the president announced the pause, he indicated by way of Truth Social, he has more than 50% ownership in Truth Social. It's a great time to buy DJT. That was his announcement on Truth Social. And in so doing, Truth Social had a value that moved up. In fact, Truth Social, which the president has a majority ownership, went up by $415 million. Now, here's what's interesting in this scenario. When he made that announcement and said it's a great time to buy DJT, that happens to be the symbol for his stock, DJT. I ask you kindly, and as one professional to another, Mr. Treasury Secretary, do you think that this should be investigated, the president's stock being linked to his Truth Social message, and that stock having gone up by some $415 million in a single day, and this is a stock that was doing very poorly prior to that, hadn't had a lot of success. Do you think that this should be investigated?
No, sir.
Kindly explain to me why we would not investigate the president making such an announcement as it relates to his stock and then reaping some $415 million as a potential capital.
Well, all Americans benefited from the rebound in the markets that day, and in fact, the rebound in the market after that was the fastest in market history.
Yes, it was. But here's what's interesting about your statement. You did not note, Mr. Secretary, that DJT had probably the sharpest increase on that day, $415 million, and that the president said, buy DJT, and that's what happened.
I'm unfamiliar with the exact text. Did he say buy DJT?
Yes, sir.
Did he said
now
is a good time to buy and have a salutation DJT?
Yes, sir. DJT immediately following, now is a good time to buy.
Well, those are his initials, as you said.
They are his initials, but it's also, do you agree that those are the symbol, that's the symbol for his stock?
I believe it is.
Okay. And do you believe that such a thing done openly and notoriously should not be investigated? Is that what you're telling the American people?
Sir, I believe that anything that is widely disseminated and available to everyone.
Well, it was available to everyone, but what he said related to his stock could relate to something else, but to his stock. And here's the point, Secretary. Here's the point. I believe that any other president making this kind of move is almost a hustle. I don't want to say that about the president, but making this kind of move would at least be investigated. If you're going to allow the president to do this openly and notoriously, $415 million, what you're doing is giving him a license to move markets at will, make announcements, and reap benefits. He is literally hustling the United States stock market. I yield back.
Gentleman's time is yield back.